What makes a great leader? This is one question that many people ask themselves and ask around and search about it. Hello, I'm Linda Milon, your critical life and leadership coach. I help you to live and lead with a positive impact and mindset. Let's translate your intentions into actions. Hit the subscribe button. Today, we want to look at what makes a great leader. So many people confuse great leadership with a specific leadership style. They think if I practice a certain leadership style, I'm a good leader. Of course, some people will say that style, other people will say that style. The most important lesson you need to learn as a leader is that leadership doesn't start with a title, doesn't start with a position, it doesn't start with what you may consider the standard. Over the past decade or even longer, so much has changed, and still so many people fill out leadership roles who are not great leaders. I met people and told them that I'm a coach for leaders. And they were saying, oh, yes, you should talk to my boss. Yes, I could talk to your boss. But the problem is, and that's one indicator of a great leader, that most people do not work on themselves. They don't want to hear the bad news that they are actually doing a really poor job. That you're here shows that you have already the potential of becoming a really great leader because you're willing to work on yourself. Great leaders have the willingness to improve and to reflect and to grow. Another challenge I have observed over the past 20 years while working for and with leaders is that people think that when you have the title or the position of a leader, you did already a great job because you got now what you deserved. All the effort and connecting with your boss and whatsoever helped you to get the position you have now and you deserve it. Well, that's the thing. Just because you worked for a long time doesn't mean that you deserve to be a leader. Leadership and great leadership is not connected with a great position. There can be a great position, a great leadership title, and the person who fills this role is awful. So you need to ask yourself, do you want to be leader just based on a title, or do you want to become the very best version of yourself as a leader? Since you are here, I assume the latter is the case, and that's wonderful. The most essential thing to focus on might be integrity. Integrity is the key word every leader who wants to become or be a great leader needs to embrace. This word can be filled with so much, and everyone looks at it from a different angle. So I want to bring it all a bit together so that you get a better picture of it. Integrity, to put it very simple, means that you as a person are consistent and reliable in what you say and do. Your words and actions have to match. If you put rules for your team and you have a certain expectation, let's say be on time, but you are never on time, and it starts with these simple things. See, the people who work for you or you are responsible for, they see the tiniest things you do. You don't need to get paranoid, but you need to be honest with yourself and have the same expectations towards yourself that you put on your team members and employees. Integrity means also that you're honest. Be honest with yourself. Be honest of who you are. If you make a mistake, how do you handle it? Are you honest and you take ownership of what you did and what you didn't do? And are you honest with your team about it? Or do you act as if nothing happened and because you're the big boss, it's fine that you made a mistake? As a great leader, it's important to be faithful to the standards and values that are mandatory for your team and for the environment you work in. Don't abuse your power for personal advantage. For example, how often did you make someone in the team do work for you that were actually your personal matters and that person couldn't accomplish their actual workload because you wanted to save time and you thought because you're the boss, someone else can do it for you. Be fair as a leader. Make sure that those who did the work get also the credit for it. Are you willing to stand in the gap for your team? You are in the one who needs to stand up for the people you are in charge of. And one of the most important skills you as a great leader need is emotional intelligence. You need to know more about yourself and how to impact and influence relationships, how to manage yourself in social situations. Does it mean you cannot be confident about the things you're already doing great? No, that's not the case. It needs to be a balance. Be honest about the things where you are weak at and where you need to improve, and be honest about where you're really freaking good at. If you're new in leadership, or you have been in leadership positions since a long time, but you haven't seen the improvement in yourself that you longed for, then I would recommend to really invest some time in self-awareness. The more you understand yourself, the more you understand what triggers you, what motivates you, what pushes you forward, the more you know how you can improve it and work on it. Things you can practically do to work on yourself and to improve your self-awareness and your leadership skills: reading more, educating yourself more, do some activities within your team where your team has the chance to actually give you feedback, or you have a team of trustworthy friends or colleagues who are allowed to give you feedback. I'm aware that not every company, not every business has a feedback culture or offers coaching. But if you are not in that context where it's given to you, then find someone. You can actively and proactively work on yourself and improve yourself. I promise you that you will see growth. Regular conversations and reflections about yourself and how to move forward is not something just for people who are struggling and have a hard time. Actually, it is brilliant to start working on it when you are in a good place. It's like taking preventative measures. It's not necessary to wait to work on yourself when everything is already burning down. When you start working on yourself, when you're in a good place, it can benefit and support your growth journey tremendously. So let's sum it up. Great leaders are ready to work on themselves. They have a great amount of integrity and then constantly are working on improving it. They are honest about themselves and with their team. Often the leaders are the ones who have to keep the team going, who are there to support them and to make sure that the team has what they need to function well. And lastly, do not abuse your power. Of course, there are so many more aspects, so don't worry. I will post more often videos about leadership, self-awareness, and emotional intelligence. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.